All right, welcome to the Farzy Show. Nasty and myself, Neil Little, have hijacked the Farzy Show. Marc Farzetta is out hanging out with some horses out in Colorado, and
Cows.
you guys are stuck with us for the next little while. But we brought on my man, Neil Little,
Ha!
and obviously Derek Sotomayor Nasty. So here we are, talk some Flyers hockey, some nasty knuckles, and what's going on in the world of sports.
That's
So
right,
what's up,
Riggs.
guys?
Riggs, let's go. You've been up
I'm
since 4.
I'm ready to rock, man. Where you been?
I've been on the
Finding
phone
your
with
suit
Broads.
jacket?
No, I've been this. Hey, this is a skill. This isn't a suit jacket. And by the way, Broads, I've been on the phone with Broads for the last hour, getting fired up. Got my Death Wish
Oh, you got
coffee.
it.
I'm ready to go. We got
Yeah.
Litz just out of the wrapper. This guy's just waking. He just got in.
Come on, man.
Back in the day.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah. You're looking fresh, Litz. What's going on?
Fresh
Well,
as a daisy.
Wow, Nasty's looking like he's ready to go out in the town.
I just got in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got back. You got to replicate. You got to represent. Farzy always wears the suit jacket, so
I
you
know,
felt like,
man.
you know,
Oh,
you gotta
yeah. All right.
dress
Yeah.
up for the occasion.
I didn't get
You're
that
looking
memo.
good.
I didn't get that memo.
Yeah,
Well, you're
guys.
looking good, buddy.
Thanks, brother. Hey, guys, welcome to the Farzy Show. We have hijacked it, as Riley said. Going to get into a little Flyers hockey and breakdown of, the trades and draft. And we have our good friend Neil Little, who is a professional scout, played, obviously, a lot of years in the American League, National Hockey League. So, we just want to get your intake on some of these moves the Flyers made. We think they did an unbelievable job here. Big changes in the room this summer. Kind of reminds me, Riggs, of when we brought in Danny, Chemo, Hartsey, that whole rebuild. Marty
Yeah.
Biron, Scotty Upshaw, Joffrey Lupul.
Yeah, full shakeup.
A full shakeup, and it seemed to be that's what the Flyers maybe needed. We lost a couple guys that everyone loves. We love anyway. Not everyone knows them on a personal level. They're not as fortunate as we are. But let's start out with a Voracek, guys. The trade for Atkinson. What'd you think about that, Riggs?
Well, I think Jake needed a fresh start. I think he was becoming a little bit stale in Philly. Even though I love the guy and he brings a lot, but I think it's always good when guys maybe get a little too comfortable to get a fresh start and go somewhere else. In this case, he goes back to a team he's familiar with, and you get a guy that he can equally produce. I think he's had a couple big seasons, 35 goals, 41 goals. I think last year maybe trickled off a little bit, but nonetheless, I think I think it's a good trade for the Flyers to get some fresh blood in there, and again, you don't lose any scoring power there.
Yeah, you see thousands of games a year. I know you've seen Cam Atkinson play. What do you think of his game?
Well, you had to replace some of the loss with Jake there. So, overall, I think it's I think it's a wash, that move, because they both kind of have the same type of game. Jake is I really like Jake. I really liked him as a Flyer. But if there was one downfall, it was his defensive game. He's really good from the top of the circles in the D zone and out. So, but what you don't get is that reliable every night kind of defensive zone player. So, I think in my book it's a wash, but that's not the point. The point is you get fresh faces in there. You want to do some rollover. I really like the moves they made on the back end more so, but it's going to be a little different not seeing Jakey in a lineup because I thought he brought a lot of intangibles that you just can't find. So, good luck to Jake.
Yeah.
And, welcome Cam. So I'm going to be interesting to watch that one, see how it plays out, see how Jake does in Columbus going back there.
I spoke with him this week, and he's sad to leave the guys here. Obviously, like who wouldn't be? Anytime you leave a locker room, he's been here 10 years.
Yeah,
so he's been through a lot here, and but he's happy for the fresh start. he's kind of going to be a leader on that team. Obviously, they lost Foligno. You know, he was obviously traded at the deadline to Toronto, but then he signed in Boston. So to me, Columbus, not to get off on Columbus, but losing that guy, man, I mean, he's the heart and soul of that team the last
Yeah.
several years. I love his game. But anyway, Jake's going in there and he's actually excited. He actually said to me, I'm going to be great this year. So I hope he is.
Perfect.
Because,
That's the right attitude.
he is, yeah. When Jake's a hard-headed man, and he's looking forward to it. He said he's been getting after it. So and at the same time, like Neil said, Cam Atkinson brings it every night, man. He kills penalties and he puts 30 goals in the net. If, when he's playing the game he can play. He's a tenacious little guy. So I think it's a good deal for both teams and maybe a wash, like Neil said. So.
Yeah, sometimes guys just need a fresh start, move on to a different organization and get going. I think that's going to jumpstart Jake's game and hopefully Cam's. He's coming into a team that I think he has a relationship with Kevin Hayes there and probably knows a couple other guys, but fresh start's always good sometimes for guys.
Yeah, exactly.
What we got next?
Well, on the back end, let's go to the back end because Ryan Ellis, that's a big pickup, especially if he's healthy. No one knows the true story. You've heard wrist, you've heard shoulder. I don't know. I'm not a medical man, but you lose Mizey and Nolan, which totally he needed a new start. He needed
fresh
to get away. Start. He's a hell of a player. I really think he's going to have a great year. I hope he does anyway for him and Mizey. But bringing in Ryan Ellis, he's 30 years old. Yeah, he's got a pretty hefty contract, but I think they wanted to get someone in there that can play with Provy every night. Like, let's put these guys together and let them form a chemistry. And I think Ellis is a good enough player. He could probably play with anyone like Provorov. So what are your takes on that?
I like this move. If you're looking, really what you're looking for as a forward is to get that pass on your tape coming out of the zone. Everything runs so much more smoothly when it's on your tape and everybody's kind of the flow just changes. So you got a guy back there now that he's so crafty. He's got good footwork. He's elusive, and he's he may not be the strongest, biggest kid, but he's greasy and he's elusive. And then you just get the North game going so much quicker. Plus, power play, just so many things that this kid does that I think he's going to be a real good flyer, to tell you the truth. This is one of the better pickups. Chuck's been busy in a good way. Maybe he'd been criticized for not pulling the trigger earlier, last year, 2 years ago. But you got to tip your hat when a guy does this good of a job in the offseason. It's going to be really interesting here. We got a lot of guys to go through, but this is a good pickup here.
Yeah, I agree. He's not the biggest guy, like you said, Neil, but he plays a lot bigger than he is. He gets in there. I think that's why he's had a few injuries, just because he's willing to get in there and get his nose dirty. Goes back for the puck, takes a hit, to make a play. And like you said, he can snap the puck out first pass. Big pickup.
Yeah. You said it, Litz. We talked about this yesterday, actually, how much easier it is for forwards to play the game when you get in that first pass. Like you can hide some guys in the third and fourth line almost if the puck's coming out of the zone crisp and you're playing away from your net. And then, they didn't necessarily have enough guys that did that consistently last year. So obviously with Ryan Ellis and a couple of these other guys, that shouldn't be a problem. That first pass and out the zone and even carrying the puck out of the zone. There should be in good shape there. But I like this pickup for sure. It's an upgrade. We always talked about the D-core last year being the real true hole in the team, and they obviously addressed that. So I like it.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than taking a pass in your skates with heat on, you're fumbling it around, now it's back in your zone, and
it's the
it just
worst shift.
continues. Now you get back to the bench, you're getting yelled at.
Yeah, the shifts from hell.
You're getting screamed at. You've been stuck on the ice for a minute and a half. You can barely breathe, and you got a coach over your shoulder telling you how terrible you are.
I've been involved in a few of those, and the pucks are on my tape, and they're stuck in the zone.
I've heard.
Shift from hell.
Boom.
I've heard Neil yell, "Just ice it!" in the net, scrambling with his kick saves, all over the place. I think we all agree on that one. Great pickup by Chuck and his staff. Next one's been some people love, some people don't love so much, but like to get your thoughts, Litz, because I know you see so many games. But Rasmus Risto,
Mr. Cat,
picking him up. Obviously, the numbers, so much of analytics these days. Of course, he not probably the best numbers you're looking at. You gave away a
dash hundo in the last couple of years, or what?
Yeah, but I mean,
know.
He's been playing, not the crap on Buffalo, but it's just nothing seemed to go right there. He's getting a fresh start. This guy's got to be pumped. We kidded around yesterday on Broad's show that he's probably already in Philly, just cruising around, dancing in the streets, getting traded here. So you've seen him play a lot, Litz. What are your thoughts on him?
Honestly, like of all the moves that Chuck made, this is my favorite. And yeah, you got to take those numbers and you got to crumple them up in a little ball, and you got to throw them as far as you can, because it don't matter. It really doesn't matter. This I tried to get this guy for the last 2 years. We almost had him in Florida. This guy's going to be a perfect flyer, and I'll stamp that one. Because he gets a fresh start. This guy can play. He's a big body that actually he's got impressive skill, got some bite, moves pucks. You can put him in any situation at any time. Look for this guy to play a lot more minutes than anybody thinks. So if he comes in with the right attitude and he gets his body in good shape, his head in the right space, he's going to be. This will turn out to be the best trade that Chuck has made.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's bold. I like that. I really like him too. I think that the catch on him has been giving up a first round pick, and he has 1 year left on his contract. So, but it's that being said, I do agree. Crumple up the numbers. He's stuck in Buffalo. I mean, there's a losing organization. There's no culture of winning there at all. But I'm sure the moment he was traded, his head was in the right place. I think he was probably, like Nasty said, he's probably already in Philly dancing around. I like this trade a lot. I like this a lot. It's just I think people just want to harp on the first rounder, but from what I've been told, and you might have heard it too, is it like 7 teams said that they would put up a first rounder?
Oh yeah,
and some.
First rounder, that's easy, right? Yeah, we were going first plus as far back as last year. It was steeper than a first, I'll tell you that. So
so it's probably a good deal then at the end of the day.
This was a good deal. Like, if you're on the outside looking in, and it might look like, well, probably if people are complaining, then they haven't seen the guy play enough.
Yeah.
If people are complaining about it first, and they probably don't realize what the cost is out there to get a player of this quality.
Yeah, right.
And in other terms of, who knows if your first rounder is going to play?
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's true.
This guy's going to play another, 600 games. So, at the end, it's the picks really. Do you want to give up your first? No, but I mean, this guy's worth first all day long. So
yeah, right. Yeah, I agree. And you get the size and the grit, and you said he's a flyer, man. Like this.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Pickup. He's going to look good in orange for sure. Yeah.
He's had something like 631 hits in the past 3 seasons, and obviously it was kind of shortened seasons too. So he is a physical man as well, which Philly people hate, right? No one likes
Yeah.
the physicality.
No, we don't want to see
We
him
don't
hit
want to
anybody.
see that. Speaking of physicality, not a huge signing, but I believe a great signing, Litz. I'm not sure if you've been able to meet Sammy Morin, but a guy like him in a locker room, you lock him up, you got some serious toughness when you need it. The game's obviously not as crazy as it used to be. We don't have goalies coming down the other end, diving into piles. Stuff like that. But in all seriousness, I think it's a great pickup. You get him for $750. He's a locker room guy. He's a team favorite. I mean, that's about all you can say about that. But Riles can speak on Sammy Adams.
Well, I think you mentioned it's no longer the the Broad Street Bullies, but the Rangers did sign probably the toughest guy in the league, Ryan Reeves. So at least you got something to counter with. And Sam is a first round pick with the Flyers. I mean, how many years ago? And he's done everything in his power to get where he is today. He's had 2 major knee surgeries and setbacks. So for him to have success this past year, especially going into training camp last year as a forward, getting sent down, going back on D, and coming back up as a defenseman and playing 22 games is pretty impressive. So I think it's just a good, a good depth guy, good team guy, glue guy. He's got to stay healthy, and I think it's, I think the guys in the locker room appreciate that signing.
Yeah, I always cheer for Sammy. Always,
yeah, me too, man.
Always have, because nobody goes through that much hell and comes out the other side. It just doesn't happen. So you really gotta say, hey, Sam, excellent job. Even just to stick with it, the mental toughness that it takes to overcome those injuries when you're sitting in a training room for a better part of 2 years. Doing rehab, that ain't fun. That's not fun at all.
Let's always with a smile on his face.
Like Riles said, like they didn't have a spot for him. They put him on forward.
Yeah.
They tried to turn him into a winger. Like that.
As Sammy said, I don't like this.
I saw him play.
I don't like this. I don't like this ting, he said.
The good thing is that if you really need him in a pinch, you could play the wing, but he's like, the experiment didn't go as planned. I watched. I've seen Sammy play. I can't tell you how many times, but he's better at D, and he's better when he keeps his game quiet. Because when he was a kid, he wanted to be a big power play shooter. He wanted big back scratchers. He wanted to make plays. Sammy, dial it down. But he doesn't have I think his brain moves too fast for his hands. Because he moves around pretty good for a big guy. He's physical. But if you just dial down and kind of and shrink his box a little bit, then he becomes actually a pretty effective player. So I'm sure they got him slated as a 7, and he'll slip in there and maybe work his way into a 6. And who knows? I don't put anything by this guy that he can climb the ladder a little bit. So, I mean, you have to sign him.
Well, I agree. And again, he is, when he keeps his game simple, like he was effective this year. We had him on, we talked about all of this, and we had him on the Nasty Knuckles podcast, and he's just so happy to be here. He's so happy to be healthy, and let's knock wood. But Farzy is going to probably have you on every day next week because you just gave him a new phrase, the back scratcher. He doesn't know what that Farzy does not know what that means. He does not know, and we're not going to tell him right now. He's going to start getting on the horn and try to find out.
Yeah.
But the back scratcher is going to be one he uses because we told Farzy, we made a comment one night on a post game. When they were really snapping the puck around or biscuit around and really snapping the biscuit around, and he's like, yeah, they were snapping that thing and snapping it around. He had no idea. But no, I'm kidding, Farzy. But he's going to love the back scratcher. Okay, one of my favorite pickups. I'm not even talking about hockey. This guy's hilarious. Keith Yandel, Litz. You obviously worked with the Florida Panthers for the last few years. You know Yans. Great guy. What do you think about his game? And you get him at 900.
Why? I don't think he has to worry about any kind of money problems. So
no, I'm talking about the Flyers cap. I'm not talking about his pocketbook.
Hey, it's like I don't know. It's like throwing a log. It's like throwing a log in a house fire. He doesn't need the money. Yeah. You know what? First and foremost, guys gravitate to this guy and love this guy. So right off the bat, you get maybe some of what Jakey left. Like you because Jake was a big personality. Kind of gets the group together, gets some, a gelling, kind of a gel guy, a glue guy. So that in that regard, you get a good locker room guy. In terms of on ice play, he's had his ups and downs. But when you count him out, he'll just shove it right up your,
Yeah, you showed that this year. This year.
You don't want him to play with a burr because he's gonna prove you wrong. So is he the Yandle of 6 years ago? No, but is he effective? Yes, he's very effective, especially on the power play. Even if you just had him on the power play, which actually we did for quite some time until we needed more and more minutes from him. But at a certain point in time, he was strictly power play and offensive zone draw guy. But he's certainly capable of talk about guys that can move pucks, transition game, just like sidestep, finding out that nobody else can. This guy is elite at that, and elite power play. So will he play as many minutes? No, but he's kind of that you put him in that special, that category of, I don't know what you want to call him. But for 900, are you kidding me? He's good. Yeah, he's worth 5 times that. But even for the power play, you're gonna love him on the power play. So
right, yeah, and losing Shane Gostisbehere Ghost, he's such a special player on the power play. I mean, you cannot deny that. I've seen this guy keeps pucks in. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone keep a puck in his zone like Ghost, jumping up, getting him, put it through his legs, making a play. I mean, just almost basketball type plays. He made some time, but you're right. Jans is a power play guy.
Jans doesn't have the bomb like Ghost.
Right.
Like he's not going to bring a rocket that'll beat a goalie from distance, but he'll thread the P through anything. Like he can just find sticks and just his vision is ridiculous. Yeah. That's why he's Keith Yandle. His vision and his passing are on a level that not too many guys are at. So.
Well, in saying that, I think I've heard Jans say that he's kind of like Jack McElhargy, Bucky. He's like a tailor. He's like a tailor because he can thread the needle. That's what Bucky used to say, the late great Bucky. But yeah, I think that's another huge pickup and a guy that's been around. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's played a whole lot of I don't think he's played a whole lot of playoff hockey, but at the same time, he's played a lot of games. He's seen a lot, and I'm sure these guys as they get older, you guys know, like you learn more and more every year, and I think he's going to be a great fit. And his best buddy, I mean, him and Hazy together, Jesus, you're might have to keep them in separate rooms because the guys will just have cramps in their stomach from laughing.
Too much fun.
Oh yeah. Right. But you know what? It's Litz and Riley. You guys know I didn't play, but I was in the room with you guys. It's so important to have a room like that, man.
Oh,
I mean, there's the time you got to be serious. That's the good thing about like Hazy. I wasn't there with him, but for about 50 games. But and Jake, they know when it's time to have fun, and they know when it's time to let's get it going here. Let's buckle down. So I think it's gonna be big pickup for them.
There's enough serious guys. There's enough serious guys in the room that are just like uber focused and just stoic. So it's nice to add that element where you guys can just breathe a little bit. You know what? You don't have to be serious until about a minute. You see the minute on the clock, a couple minutes before game time. Then then you click it and you turn it on.
Then why were you such a jerk when you were playing for about an hour before the game? Not a jerk, but couldn't even talk to the guy unless he gave you the nod. Yeah, go ahead. I'm messing around. He was.
I made up. Nast.
Yeah,
hey, listen.
I made up for it when I wasn't playing. Though.
I was gonna say if he wasn't playing, I would turn to my left and he wasn't even there sometimes. So I don't know what was going on. Or I saw him reaching over, having some popcorn from the kid beside him, or fucking crushing a hot dog on the. I've never seen anything like it. But anyway, in all
Yeah, you gotta have
seriousness.
some fun. You gotta have some
What?
fun, man. It's a good addition all around, man. On ice, off ice. It's veteran leadership, 1,000 games. I mean, like Les said, man, that's a great pickup.
It is.
He got more points. He got more points than Ellis and Reese though in the last couple. I mean, how many years too? I mean, as far as
Yeah.
points per game.
Yeah.
So I mean, but obviously, I think his holes are like Les said too, is defensively. So he'll be on for ozone faceoffs power play.
I mean, like, let's not kid ourselves. There's going to be times where you're going to curse out Keith Yandel.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There
It's
is.
up the middle.
There is.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not, and it's not so much a piece of pizza. It's more the guy's played 900 games in a row.
Yeah.
It's impossible to play 900 games in a row because you're getting crushed all the time as a D. Well, Keith, don't get crushed.
Yeah. It's going to make sure of it.
It's conveniently doesn't get crushed.
Let me leave it at that.
Yeah.
He's conveniently not available.
Houdini out there.
We're crushing. So yeah, you'll curse him once in a while, but then you're at the end of the day you're gonna say, I can't believe he made that pass and we win. So there's a lot more bad than good. I mean, there's a lot more good than bad.
Right.
Thank God. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Let's something. I don't want to say I scratched my head at. I just was kind of surprised. I thought Brian Elliott would maybe get one more year just because of him and Carter. But again, I'm not inside there. I don't know. But they pick up Martin Jones, a 1-year deal for $2 million. I know your specialties goaltending. What are your thoughts on him?
I thought the same thing, but I have the same feelings as you do with Elliott. I think that he may be I thought he was the perfect match for Carter. He's one of my favorite guys to watch. He's just an ultimate pro. And you know what you're going to get every night. Very rarely does Brian Elliott let you down. It just doesn't happen. So in that regard, I thought they might keep him and then maybe, I don't know, bring in a third, but that didn't really make sense. So if you're going to shake it up, you shake it up all the way from top to bottom, forwards, D, goalie. If you're going to do it, you do it all the way. So is Carter going to miss Brian Elliott? You better believe it. But Jonesy's been around for a while now. He's kind of in that same on that same playing field, on that level. So I think this is just a shake-up move. Get a new face in there. Maybe get, just a different voice for Carter. Because at the end of the day, the Flyers really need Carter Hart to be Carter Hart. I think last year was a little bit of it was tough on everybody. I don't grade anybody on last year's performance because it was a ridiculous year. For everybody with COVID and just the grind of life in general. Yeah. So I expect goaltending to be better this year. And that's not because Jones is coming in and Elliott's out. I expect the goaltending to be better because I think life's going to get a little easier for everybody. Yeah. So
I hope so. Let's hope so, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was, he took his team to the final a few years ago. So, I mean, he's.
Oh, this guy can play. Don't get me wrong. Like if Carter falters, that's why you need Jones. Like Jones can take the ball. So, you need somebody to push Carter, and you need somebody to have the ability to take the ball and run with it for 25 games in a row if need be. Like, so, I mean, he's done it before, and really that's probably why they brought him in, just in case Carter falters, because you never know. Like sometimes it takes a little while to get your game back. And when I say a little while, sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's a year and a half. He's young enough where I don't worry about Carter Hart because his foundation is so strong. Yeah. But it's right here, and sometimes that takes a little while longer. So
right.
I think also the familiarity with Coach Kim Dillenbaugh, the goaltending instructor for the Flyers. I believe he's worked with Jonesy in L.A. there. So I
Yeah.
think there was a little bit of a connection there, and he knows him. So, hopefully that all works out. And I think Carter's the man. I think he's going to be the man.
Yep.
We all know him.
Yeah.
The kid's so mentally tough, and he's so mature for a kid his age. And
I'm sure they leaned on Kim heavy for that decision.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Kim's the guy that is really spending the most time with these guys.
Yeah.
So that's who you lean on. If Chuck's going to lean on anyone for a goalie decision, it's going to be Kim, because he's an intelligent guy. He knows the position inside and out, and he knows the goalies in the league. So I'm sure that there was a list, and you whittle that list down until you get to 2 or 3 guys, and then you just keep whittling, and you just see what works. And I'm sure that's how Jonesy came in here. So at the end of the day, he was probably the best fit for being a partner for Carter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll see. Hopefully it juices up Carter's game. Like I said, it's healthy competition. I think you had that with Elliott, but the business of performance, right? And you can't, after last season as a team, everyone needs to get better. So hopefully this sprinkles a little juice on him and gets him rocking. It'd be amazing to see 2 guys going strong.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to, you struggle on who you're going with. But I like this. I mean, it's again, you said it's a shakeup. It's probably what it is more than anything.
It's a good problem to have. If you got 2 guys to play,
that's true.
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
true.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's going to be a condensed season. If everything goes as planned, it's going to be a condensed season. So everybody's good. You need both guys to play serious minutes. So I think it's another good move. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
So it is. And last but not least, one of me and Riley's favorite pickups, I think it was very important, is Nate Thompson.
I knew that was going to be your guys' favorite.
Hey, man, listen, this guy's hard. He's hard to play against.
Oh, let me put my surprise face on you.
Hey,
this
wasn't
guy,
a free offensive defenseman or anything.
You got to get a little sandpaper in there, and you got to have a guy that's in your face and knows his role and is happy with his role. And I think he's huge. I know all the guys loved him in the locker room when they got him at the deadline a couple years ago. He's happy to be back. I just think he's a big. I like him because he knows he's a fourth line energy guy, man, and he brings it every night. And he's a locker room guy. We say that a lot, but Riles, we've talked about it. Like, I think it's a great pickup.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was apparent that there was an ingredient missing in most games, and no, it really had nothing to do with fighting, but it was just like that grit and that energy. And he brings it. He's a face-off guy, PK, good glue guy, locker room guy. He's been in the league for however long. I think he's got over 800 games. But you need those ingredients. I know they seem small, but those ingredients, combined with some of these other ingredients that they've added. I mean, to me, this is a nice piece for that fourth line. He knows what he is. He's not coming in and thinking he's something he's not. And he's a humble guy. I know him a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I think you just you got to have guys like that. The glue, man. The glue, the chemistry.
You guys know that these kind of guys are my favorite guys too. So even though I give you a hard time, these are my kind of guys. So, and we can't forget that this is still the Philadelphia Flyers. It's 2021. I get it, but there's still the element that you this is how you've been successful in the past. This is your identity. You have skill and you have toughness. So this guy's, he's a Flyer. What are you going to say?
Yeah, I agree.
He's not breaking the bank. He knows his role. He's you know exactly what you're going to get every time he hops over the boards. So again, another, what, you got to not sign Nate Thompson? Like,
yeah, right. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to.
Exactly.
So that's good. Yeah. Good move.
Right on. I think we should take a quick break here, Nast, and we have a teaser for the horse show on Monday. Farsy's Farzy's got the horse show going. We're gonna take a quick minute
Horse
break
show.
here.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's got
We'll
a
see
brush.
it.
He's brushing them. You'll see.
Oh,
I don't know much about horses, but
Turn around.
Yeah, turn around. When you touch on, he knows he's paying attention. Bring him back to me. Bring him back to me. That's good. That's good. So
How was that handling of a Buckeye right out of the gate?
you had full control.
What? Okay. Come on. I know, right? I'm a novice. You got me.
Oh, the Farzy ride needs some work. It really needs some work. And I don't think it's the horse.
Was that Clint
Wow.
Eastwood? Was
Oh,
that Clint
that-
Eastwood
hey.
up on that horse?
that guy should be in movies. You see that guy?
Oh my God! Where was the straw hanging out of his mouth?
That
though?
was
That
Up
is
it.
outstanding, and it's
Dirty.
not the horse.
It's not the horse. I love what he says. Okay, you got me. I'm a novice here.
Oh,
Oh,
Farzy, I was talking about.
You couldn't tell. Oh, you meant the
I
other
was
guy.
talking about Farzy. That
I was
guy's
talking-
gotta be in movies. Like, got the perfect little hat on.
Oh yeah,
That
Farzy.
was beautiful.
Farzy.
I was just
these-
watching the horse's face when Farzy was on his back. It's like, oh,
Oh. He has not been going to yoga with Riggs there in his
Oh, that
leggings.
was classic.
Oh my God, that was great. He looked
What a nice
so
teaser.
so comfortable.
Yeah. So
Oh man.
oh,
But
that was beautiful.
welcome back everyone to Farzy Show. Taken over by Nasty Knuckles and Neil Little, Riley Cote, myself, Derek Settlemeyer, Nasty. Thanks, Litz, for joining us and getting your professional perspective on these guys. We've got some big news coming up, Litz. We got a big ball hockey tournament coming up. We joined with the National Ball Hockey League. Riley, tell them a little bit about that on September 11th.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It's a full day tournament, guaranteed 3 games, 4v4, up to 40 different teams, and Marlton Rinks in New Jersey there. And yeah, man, it should be a lot of fun. Ball hockey, man. That's your specialty, Let's. I know you got
40. You guys got 40 teams, full rink, full
Rank,
Full
4
rank,
on
yeah.
4. You in? 4 on
There's
4.
3 rinks there.
You're gonna have to wear Das Boot if you come out there. Hey, listen. If this guy's not in net, do not have him play hockey, whether it be ice ball. He hangs at the other blue line, tapping his stick with his Jofa helmet on like he's
Yeah.
Gratz out there.
I'm a goal scorer. That's
Oh,
what I do.
yeah. Oh yeah,
That's what I do. I got hands.
he's got mitsies.
Yeah, man.
But it's
Yeah,
gonna
there's
be
no back
trying to
check.
get out of the crease.
Especially with my ankle, there's no back checking. There'd be
no. This poor guy feels he's
all
such
offense,
a,
all
he's such a
handle.
he's such a good golfer. And the poor guy, sometimes he's got this thing on his leg. He looks like a cast. He's walking around like hobbling on the course, and then he throws a dart up onto the green and taps it in for birdie. Not a big deal. But yeah,
Open
let's.
the
I don't know
nest,
if
man.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to be running on those full size rinks, 4 on 4, nonetheless.
Yeah, if it was like 6 on 6, I could probably handle it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Self-preservation mode you're in.
I
You know,
would
take care of the temple.
It feels
I-
better with the CBD. I've been putting the CBD, the wax on it
Yeah,
every day,
yeah.
like a couple times a day. And
Nice.
I'm not just saying this; it actually
No, it
feels
helps, doesn't it?
better.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get all the way back because there's so much going on in there. But oh my, I can actually walk without pain. So
yeah,
Beautiful.
CBD, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Anti-inflammatories, right? You
body
got to
check
remove the
wellness.
inflammation.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's awesome.
Well, happy to hear.
That is going to be a huge day for us. Obviously,
Yeah,
lots
September
going.
11th.
Yep, September 11th. Lots going on that day too. Not just the ball hockey. We got a lot of cool things going on. We'll tell you guys more about that as we get a little closer. Riley, big big news for us, and we're so happy we signed with Fans of Philly. So awesome. Signed up already. Riley's just fired up because we're going to Vegas. It's our first trip for 4 nights. It may be our first trip, but it's one of the first anyway.
Tell me about that,
Yeah.
guys. What's Fans of Philly and
Yeah,
how do I get involved in this?
Yeah, come along. We'd love to have you.
Oh, yeah.
Fans of Philly is essentially a sports travel agency for Philadelphia and all sports. So specifically this year with the Flyers, they set up different road trips basically. They set up the travel, the hotel, different events in the cities that the Flyers are playing in, and basically bring Flyers fans to an experience. So
What a concept! How come we
Yeah.
didn't come up with that concept?
I know, right? It's brilliant.
We're not smart. You got hit in the head too many times with pucks. He got hit too many times in the head with fists, and I'm just
Yep.
not very smart. So that's probably why we didn't.
So we're just joining the action.
But
That is
yeah, hey,
fantastic.
they go a lot of places, and they were even in Prague. They went over to Prague. They had a huge group.
You
100
kidding me?
guys there.
I
at least,
swear
yeah.
it was amazing. Yeah.
You know that's a great concept because not only are you getting to experience the games in another city, but you're probably traveling with some of the same crew every time that you sign up. So
Yeah.
now you're making buddies that have the same interests,
Oh yeah. They're
Yeah.
all
and you're having a hoot.
Yeah.
They're-
Oh,
they-
yeah.
I mean,
it's-
what could
they
go
have
wrong?
a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Let's not jinx it here. No, but we're so pumped to be joining and be a part of that. We appreciate them and their support. And
That's great.
They're awesome, man.
I'm gonna look them up. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
job.
Yeah, we'd love to have you
Well,
sneak
listen,
away for a trip or two. We
this
got
guy can't-
Nashville in March too.
He can't get out
Hey,
of the house.
all I got is
Oh.
time, boys. All I got is time.
You're gonna be picked up here any day now, so then that tune will change. But Riggs, what else we got going?
Yeah, just the Nasty Knuckles podcast just dropped the episode 35 with your man, Nicholas
man.
Grossman.
Oh yeah, you guys
No.
got the gross daddy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Gross Daddy joined us.
Yeah,
It was-
fresh out of Sweden.
He looked when we started. We had a little technical difficulties right away, so it kind of got delayed. Well, he's in Sweden, so we're supposed to start around 8 his time. I think we got on us about 8:45, but it's still daylight, right? You know that. Well, you were over in Finland playing at the end of your career there, but it was still daylight. But as we kept going, it just kept getting darker. And all you can see is Gross. He's like, bald head. So it almost looked like a promo for WWE or something. He's just in the dark, and he's like, he's one of the funniest humans ever, but you wouldn't know it. And he's just looking into the camera, and everything's black but his head. And at one time, Riles and I stopped because we thought he was frozen, and he was like, "Hey guys," we're like, "Oh."
It's like a little ghost.
He scared us, man. But yeah, episode 35 with Big Nick Grossman. He was a great guy. We've talked about him the last few days, man. He was another one of those glue guys you have in the room, and Litz is a goaltender. This guy ate pucks for breakfast, man. And the guy just took. I asked him if he ever actually got his feet checked to see how many he must have just fractures all in his feet, I believe. But
The guy was a warrior, man.
he was,
Yeah.
man. Great guy. Great episode, man. It's fun to catch up with him. We don't get to see him that much. He's over in Sweden, like we said. He's actually a strength conditioning coach now with his team that he ended his career with. So he's a lot of good things going for Big Gross Daddy.
Yeah. Good
Check
player.
it out.
Fun to watch
yeah,
that guy just battling his balls off every night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
A
sure.
goalie's favorite. Those kind of guys are goalies' favorites.
Yeah. And,
They don't stray too far from the crease. They just
Yeah.
pound guys that come around.
yeah.
Get pucks
good.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, need the guys like that for sure.
it.
Well, guys, thank you for helping us take over the Farzy Show this morning with Nasty Knuckles. I'm going to leave Farzy with this and everyone else. Litz gave you 2 new phrases, and you better use them when you're talking hockey. Piece of pizza. He's not going to know what that is. Talking about Yandel. He's definitely not going to know what that is. Okay. And then your first one, which he's probably He's probably already on his phone trying to figure out what this is, the back scratcher.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear his response.
Farzy, yeah, just a message from Litz. Take it easy on the horse's back. I never seen a saddle that low.
Farzy, listen, that's not me. That's Lit. So next time we're golfing.
The horse didn't get his feet out of the dirt. It's just
He was stuck. His skates were too deep. They're too hot. And they had too much hollow in them. He couldn't fucking go in there. Oh boy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But
beautiful ending, boys.
Yeah, thanks to Marc Farzetta, the Farzy Show, man. He does a great job. We jumped on here, stole his show for the day. So thanks for having us. Please check out Nasty Knuckles podcast. Riggs. What else?
Yeah, I just want to say a big thanks to Jim on the back end, the producer. He's always hustling and helping out and making the stuff work. So
having to deal with us.
Having to deal with us, yeah. So, but I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully see you guys soon on the Farzy Show. Check out Nasty Knuckles for your hockey podcasts, and we'll see you guys soon. Appreciate it, Litz. Thanks for hopping on, brother.
See you guys. Farzy Show. Here we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
All right. Later, guys.